This is before I upgrade my RAM. Right now, currently, I have 8 gigs of RAM. My clock speed, as in, I mean, it's on 2666 megahertz. So I just had to buy RAM from Amazon to fit exactly the clock speed and everything to support it. Because if you go higher than that, if you go like 3600 megahertz, or like 32 gigs of RAM, your motherboard doesn't support it, so you're technically like wasting your money. What I personally recommend is if you have a pre-built PC like I do, and if you have like the exact same one, try to get 2 8 gigs, like a kit that has times 2 8 gigs, which is in total of course 16 gigs, and that should actually improve your FPS. So this is me currently unlimited without anything. I am on performance on high meshes. While live streaming 1080p, I think, on 60 FPS. I would say we're getting around 360 FPS and 230 FPS at least, or 100. Building and live streaming. Now, obviously, it is gonna improve my the thing is, it's gonna improve mostly, but yeah. As you can see, my FPS before the live stream was at like 400, 500, like almost 600. Now it dropped because I am live streaming on 1080p. And if you guys have the same pre-built PC as I do, I recommend first upgrading RAM and then the the CPU cooler. Because the CPU cooler, you don't have to change it immediately, but for me, mine looks absolutely garbage and looks nasty. It looks like it's been like over 20 years old. So I'm definitely gonna replace that later on. I recommend y'all guys do the same as well, because you know the thermal paste in my motherboard BIOS, for me it said this PC was created November of 2020, so it's not that old. Just the components are kind of like old, not really. They're decent. So you guys have to check in your BIOS and check how when was your PC, the built it was date. I mean the date it was built. And yeah. If it's super old from like 2017 or 2018, yeah, I might have to get a new CPU, cooler. But it's yeah guys' choice. It's not necessary. Like it's gonna help in the like the slightest way. The only reason I'm doing it is for aesthetics. That's pretty much it. I'm going back to my regular frames. Let me just disable all of these. It's kind of annoying, to be honest. Alright. That's way better. So wait. Alright, so in theory, yes, getting more RAM does improve your FPS by like 30 to 40 FPS more. But you have to take into consideration that overspending on a RAM is a bad thing, cause I mean you're wasting your money on basically nothing. If the clock speed is higher than 2,166 megahertz, and what you paid for is like 3,600 with 64 gigabytes of RAM, yeah, the clock speed isn't gonna change it, and it's actually gonna underperform your PC. So it's actually worse to have the overpowered RAM sticks on your motherboard than compared to not, you know. So I recommend getting 2x8, 2 times 8 gig for the memory thing, the RAM, and check your if you know your motherboard's name, check online, and it'll tell you whether like, you know, what clock speed it has at. Or one thing you can do, like almost no time, if you guys, it's super easy, it's not even gonna lie, take out, like fully unplug your guys' PC fully, and then press the power button, not from behind, from in front, you know, on like the 3.1 USB ports in front of the PC. And in front of the PC, press the power button, just like press it for a couple of seconds after you disconnect everything, and that should power off your system. Now, if it's closer to a carpet or something, it could actually might cause like a thing, so it might like create a little chemical reaction. Not really, but you know what I mean. It might fry your system or something. So to not prevent that, like guys, just touch the metal part of the PC, and then that's it. But don't, no matter what, yeah guys, are not supposed to have your PCs next to carpets, because they just collect dust and everything, and it's not really good. It's bad. So once you pull out your RAM, check the clock speed, check everything. Mine is the clock speed is at 2,666 megahertz, and mine is just 8 gigs. So I'm getting 16 gigs, two RAM sticks of 8 gigs, so that's 16 gigs. I'm doing in dual channel. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. That's like the downfall of having a pre-built PC, and also, yeah, that's pretty much it, you know. Cause my pre-built PC was actually decent. It wasn't like the best offer, but it wasn't the worst. It was very decent and good. Now, I am in Division 8 right now. Not really grinding as much as I used to. So we're going to live stream right now. Let me see if my friends are on. Nope, they're not. So just gonna practice more. Now, keep, like, people, for some odd reason, this is, like, off topic, but, like, sometimes people call me, like, a PC player for having, like, mechanics, you know, insane mechanics, you know, like these ones. Also, while being on controller. And I tell them, like, I'm on 60 ping on controller. They don't believe me, but, like, look at my, ping. literally, like, I don't usually have this ping. I usually have like 40 when I'm in creative. 44. I usually don't get 60 or 54 whatsoever. So, yeah, I'm gonna underperform. Like, I'm playing a little bit worse. I would have to sacrifice quality and everything, FPS and everything. The quality will look garbage, so I don't want it to look garbage. But I will try to find a software so I could record, because GeForce now is actually good. It takes a lot of storage in, and when I live stream, it just, you know, increases my packet loss by quite a bit. It makes me lag a little. I'm decent at the game. I'm not bad. Just since I barely got on, and you know, it's actually weird playing on high meshes. Definitely not as bad as I thought, because last season I was on console. You know how like shadows are on enabled like automatically and stuff. Honestly though, like pre-built PCs under $1,000 with a GTX 1660 and a Core i5, it has to be must buy. Like, the best bang for your buck, but you can't get better than that unless you spend over 1.4K dollars. If your budget is under 1.2K, go for the PC and monitor. It's a $200 monitor and $950 PC. And that goes like $1,150. Honestly though, like, this is just clean. Yeah, I might actually be switching to high meshes. I was always on low meshes because it does actually increase your FPS to like 10 or 20, but that's barely anything. And I have competitive settings, so yeah. Yeah, and since my monitor is 144, I technically overclocked it to 155. I forced it to go to 155 frames. So it is technically a 155 frames monitor, not a 144, but yeah. And also, if you guys want to remove delay, get less input delay, just search up in your internet browser or in YouTube, search up DS4, and then many YouTubers will tell you from there. There's an anti-micro. I don't really like it because it really like it makes your, one time I tried it and like my thumbstick, it felt so flicky because you know, less input delay on your thumbsticks make your aim super shaky and super fast. Even though I was on the same settings, look, I was on the same look sensitivity, and it felt like not sharper. It looked shaky, and it looked super responsive, like super over responsive. Like, I'm talking like 0 input delay, and I was definitely not used to the sharpy, sloppy aim. So if you guys are looking forward to some more content in the future, hit me up or drop me a like, subscribe. I'm not gonna end the video right now, I'm just saying. By the way, yeah. And also, one thing, if you're barely getting into PC and you don't know it, literally last month I was like the biggest noob in PCs. Now I'm actually decent of knowing what to do in PCs and what to not. Just search up a bunch of videos. I recommend Austin Evans, Lunis, Logitech Gaming, or something like that, their channel. They have like 13 mil subscribers. Yeah, but I highly recommend those guys. Or searching on YouTube 10, like loads of things not to do to your PC, or just search that up in YouTube and just learn. Watch 2021 PC builds from Austin Evans and from different, different content creators. And that's how I learned. Now, this didn't take one day. I had to get like months of learning, just 1 month of learning, which was nothing. Like, I was just watching videos and entertaining myself. I also recommend this guy's channel. His videos are high quality, very good, and I definitely recommend his channel. His name is Bitwit. 100% recommend him. Bro, I cannot, like, he's just one of the best. He doesn't know, like for example, the overclocking. He doesn't know that much about that. You know, he can obviously overclock and stuff and build PCs, but he mainly builds PCs and stuff for fun, which I respect. So yeah, I recommend those guys. And overall, if y'all guys are trying to get better at the game, I don't do coaching, but one thing I recommend, just a free tip or 3 tips to get better at the game, is just practice different maps. Search up 1v1 aim duels, and then do Skovax and Kovacs. Just Kovacs if you're on keyboard, Skovacs if you're on controller and keyboard. As you can see, I'm getting like 80, 70 ping. And that's with, let's just play pub matches. Be right back. Have to do something.